Today's January 19th, 2025. Logged into Bookworm Pup64 through the Vento USB stick. So let me just remove the Vento USB stick since it's been loaded up into RAM and we can continue. So I'll just remove it now. So I have internal hard drive that's here that's recording this video, and I also have some Linux ISOs here, and I have a actually SD card that's hooked into a USB adapter to my computer. What we'll be doing is installing Bookworm Pup64 into USB stick, and USB stick is in a legacy BIOS mode now. So I'll go through it. The first thing what you have to do is to make sure that this video is for legacy BIOS, and to be able to tell the difference quickly is just go ahead and put this command in the terminal, and if you get something like no such file or directory, it means that this is a legacy BIOS and you can follow this tutorial. So that's out of the way, and the first thing what we have to do is go ahead and format the SD card. So we'll go ahead and start gparted. And here is the SDG is the small SD card, 16 gig. So we'll just go ahead and start it. And because this is going to be a legacy BIOS, what we have to do is we'll have to go ahead and format this, partition it. So first you go to device and create partition table. And what you want is MS-DOS for legacy BIOS. Now, part 2, we'll be doing UEFI BIOS, then it'll be GPT, but today is MS-DOS. So it's just going to wipe everything out here. So now what we want is to go ahead and set up a space for puppy files. So we're gonna just label it as pups, and then we're gonna give it almost all the except for approximately 2 gigs in my case, just for demonstration purposes. So you really do not need to set up a Linux swap partition if you have more than 4 gig of RAM. So, but I do have 8 gig, but for demonstration purposes, I'll just go ahead and leave a little bit of space uh, for swap. So that's done, and then what we want to do is go ahead and swap partition here, and Linux swap, and then add. Okay, and then we want to apply this. Now, Puppylinux is very fast because it loads into RAM, most of it, uh, 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 except for save folder. So save folder gets placed either in USB, but today we're gonna place it in internal hard drive because it's much faster than SD card. So, but if you must, you can go ahead and put it here, but it'll be much more quicker just to put the save folder partition in SDA. But first things first. Now, to be able to boot from the SD card, what you have to do is you have to go to the Manage Flags and put a tick on boot. So now that's ready to receive the files as far as bootable Linux. So in our case, Bookworm PUP64. But let's see, what we need to do is go to, we want to boot into gparted and then load up SDA1 because we want to partition a internal hard drive for here for save partition. So save partition is we're gonna put it here. So we're gonna make a new, and then we're gonna put a label of capital SAV for save partition. So save folder will actually go in here. So we'll go ahead and obviously if you have you may have to resize if you are following this. If you have similar setup, you may have to resize first to make a room for save partition, but we'll just go ahead and do that. Well, I forgot what I need to do is we'll go ahead and get into the partition 2 where the save folder is gonna be. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go create a new directory within it, and then we're gonna further create a save folder in here. So we'll make doubly sure all the save folders from USB gets inserted into space here. So now what we're going to do now is go ahead and get the SD card ready, installed. So here install Bookworm 64 files. So we'll do that next, and just so we get a little bit more visual space. So what we're gonna do is put it in SDG1. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and make a folder here, directory, and Bookworm BW. It will be fine. I'm doing that just in case you want to go ahead and put in another Puppylinux, for example, FussaPup, and you can boot both of them, either one from a SD card. But today we're just gonna get the Bookworm files ready here. So what we have to do is open up the Bookworm ISO. So I have the Bookworm ISO here in my internal hard drive, and here is the Bookworm PUP64. NKB is what I'm using today, and I'll go ahead and put a link under the description where you can download it. So what you want to do is you want to just open it up, and then -key just to make it easy for me. And then what you want to do is SFS files. You want to grab all the SFS files. So control left click, and here's another SFS file, and here's another one, here's another one, and here's another one. Plus what you want is vmlins, which is the kernel, and then initRD. So this controls the very first initialization of the Puppy Linux, and then in our case you want to ucode.cpio. So some Puppylinux, the sequence of what I'm doing is you can follow with any Puppylinux, except that some of them will not have ucode CPIO, in which case you can just ignore it. So what you want is you want these files copied into uh, the SD card BW folder, and we'll just go ahead and copy. So now we got the correct files copied, so we can use the SD card. But what we want to do now at this point, and we'll just close everything, and then we want to G part F12, and then we want to go down to setup, and then start grub for DOS, because this is the legacy BIOS. So we'll go ahead and get this, and then this is the generic SDG is what we want. We want that, and then we'll just go ahead and close this. So this is SDG1. We want to search only within this device, and we also want a menu list. So and OK. And then just for organization purposes, we'll just go ahead and BW is fine. Windows is fine for now. Everything else is fine, and OK. Will be so it's going to get the MS-DOS menu list is going to be created. So here's a menu list. So it's done, and what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and take a look at the menu list. And then I made it a little big and color change so you can it'll be easier for you to look at. So what we want to do first is we don't have a window, so we'll just go ahead and delete these. Also, I don't need the advanced menu, so you'll just be the bookworm when I boot. That's fine. And in theory, you only have one of them. You can just go ahead and make the timeout 1 second, for example, or even 0. That way you go right into a bookworm. But we'll just go ahead and leave it as it is, and then you're ready to reboot. And depending on your computer, you may have to enter. In my case, I may have to tap on F12 key, but assuming that you only have SD card that's bootable, you should boot into SD card and bookworm without prompting. So now we booted from the SD card now. So, and there's no save folder that's been created yet. So here's a quick setup screen. What we want to do is just go ahead and go to America and Los Angeles in my case. And the time from internet is good, and then OK. And what I want to do is make sure that first a save folder is created correctly. So since the quick first screen is done, what we can do is go ahead and leave, and then reboot. And now we're going to create a first save folder. So I have to be a little careful that I don't accidentally reboot with the video screen running, but I think I will just go ahead and reboot. Just you want to follow, and then you want to save at this time, okay? So we want to save, and then we want it to go to SDA2 because that's where we have the save folder that's created. So we want the SDA2 in our case, and then OK, and then normal. We don't want to put any kind of special password on the folder, and we definitely want a save folder. Okay, and then OK, and then you don't need to put anything in. You can put your name and date or whatever. So, and OK is fine. And then here, it is SDA2, but it's on a wrong folder. It wants to put it under a BW folder. We don't want that. We want a save folder. So we want to say save a change folder. And then rather than BW, what we want to do is just go ahead and put it SAVE, save, and then OK. But I want to just stop at this point because it's going to mess up the recording. Now I have rebooted, and you can tell the SDA2 is automatically mounted, so there must be a save folder. We'll just click on it, and then there is minus sign in save folder, and indeed there is a save folder that has been created. So